Sports. We are the Fourth. We are FC.
It was a roller coaster ride on offense for the Royals on the West Coast. There were 2 16-hit games and 2 4-hit games. But on Sunday, the Royals saved their best for last. A 9-run, 2-home-run win in Seattle. Now, will that carry over to Kauffman Stadium? Royals baseball is next on Fox Sports Kansas City. Baseball on Fox Sports Kansas City is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. It is the other I-70 series. The Royals and the Rockies, the first of 2 tonight at Kauffman Stadium. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the ballpark. I'm Ryan Lefevre. The Royals are coming off their first winning road trip of the year. They went 4-3 in San Diego and Seattle, and now they're home for 9, and they begin with the Colorado Rockies, who are leading the world in just about every offensive category. We'll get to that in a moment. But if you look back on the history of this series, it's been a kind or at least fair series for the Royals. They are even 9-9 with the Rockies, and even really up and down every category there. You get to the bottom of the screen, though, and while the Rockies have really thrived at home, they have struggled on the road, and they have really struggled in interleague play since 2012, and we'll see how that factors into this series tonight. Let's welcome in Rex Hudler. Ned Yost, I thought, said it best. The media was asking him about the Rockies' offense. He said, I had to put my glasses on just to make sure that those numbers were for real.
No, they are, and they're off to a great start. No question about it. In the Mile High City, they're getting a lot of their home runs there at home. But this is an offensive team. If you watch these guys in these highlights, they all seem to have a natural uppercut in their swing. Now, it's not just Tulowitzki, their all-star shortstop, who's putting up MVP-type numbers. He's got some other guys that are chipping in, too. Gonzalez and a few other guys that got some pop. However, the Royals possess the one thing that shuts down any kind of offense. That's good starting pitching and also back into the bullpen to win. They can do it if they pitch.
James Shields pitches tonight. The Rockies hit almost 2 home runs a game at home. The Royals allow less than a home run a game at home. We'll see what happens.
start of the year, as he is on top of numerous categories in the majors and in the National League, and he is not the only one contributing to this offense, as you just heard from Ryan and Rex. Joel Goldberg out by the Rockies bullpen. They'll need some pitching from Franklin Morales, and the Royals will rely on their pitching to try to slow down a team that can hit a lot of home runs. The good news, this game is not taking place at Coors Field, not until later in the summer. But when it comes to home runs, 1.8 home runs per game at home this year, 1.1 on the road. And Coors Field, that could happen. Most home runs since that stadium opened in baseball since 1995, easily by far the most. And then it is U.S. Cellular, Rangers Ballpark, Camden Yards, and Rogers Center in Toronto, Kauffman Stadium, just 29-57. And James Shields will try to keep the ball in the park. First pitch is coming up next.
It's Chevy Truck Month. Visit your Kansas City Chevy dealers. Buy the Missouri Lottery. Try the Missouri Lottery's new Lucky Sevens playbook. And by AT&T, mobilizing your world. Here's Walt Weiss, manager of the Colorado Rockies. He was coaching high school baseball in Colorado. He finished his career in Colorado. So when he was retired coaching high school, the Rockies offered him the job. He took a one-year deal and decided to come back, and then got a 3-year contract in spring training of this year. And that's kind of a growing trend in the game, to not necessarily get a guy who's managed a lot, but just a good people person, and Walt Weiss is one of those.
He is in his second year now, and he's got his guys playing for him. This is a very powerful lineup. Tulowitzki, the shortstop, he leads in almost every category you can lead in hitting in the National League. He's been solid. This kid, the third baseman, Arredondo, he's really good. He's fun to watch him. He won a Gold Glove in his first year last season. Okay, James Shields, see his overall record. Innings pitched, he's a workhorse. He loves to eat up innings and save that bullpen. At the K, he struggled. However, it's all about today. He's looking to give the Rockies their 4th loss in their last 5 games on the road. He can do it if he's pitching to his capabilities. Sinkers down, sliders, change-ups, a few curveballs. He's got a good cutter he likes to use too. And also, pretty proud of his move. If they get too far off the bag, he'll let them know, he'll pick them up. Around the horn, Ford.
And our umpiring crew, Jeff Kellogg, 23 years, a major league umpire. He's the crew chief and at second base with DJ Rayburn behind the plate, Dan Bellino at first, and Quinn Wolcott is at third. Charlie Blackmon in the box. And Shields with a fastball for a strike. Last time we saw the Rockies was 2011, and it was a series in Denver, and Charlie Blackmon was a fourth outfielder at the time and projected to be just that, but now leading off and hitting .352, which is second in the league. And he's not just getting on base, he's also in the top 5 in the National League in RBIs. And that ball's hit hard to right field, right at Aoki.
Dave Island, pitching coach for James Shields and the Royals, is hopeful that James can utilize the southwest southeastern movement in his pitches, because that is going to produce ground balls. The last time he towed the slab here against the Tigers, everything was up in the zone and they weren't moving like Island would have liked him to. So it's important that James can hit his spots, hit his corners, keep the ball down, try to use that defense like he can. And if he does that, he can shut down any potential power from their offense.
Corey Dickerson is the Rockies' designated hitter. And fouls away the first pitch. Just to add some numbers to that HUD. Against Detroit, Shields recorded 19 outs, 3 on the ground. Now on Wednesday, 7 scoreless innings against San Diego, 21 outs, 10 on the ground. And he has now won 3 of his last 4 starts. 1-1 on Dickerson.
And that's where James is his specialty. That's what he does. He's a ground ball guy when his pitches are all working the way he wants. But if there is any fly balls, Lorenzo Cain, Alex Gordon, those guys could be able to take care of that along with Aoki.
Shields to the bag after a feed from Hosmer, 2 down. Well, Troy Tulowitzki. He leads the National League with a .395 average. He leads the league with 11 home runs. He is second in the league with 33 RBIs. He leads the league in runs scored, on base percentage, slugging percentage, third in the league in hits. And outside of that, he's done absolutely nothing for the Rockies this year.
Oh, total bases too, by the way. He's having a monster start. And for him, I'm happy because he's had so many physical problems the last few seasons. And he plays through them, and you just don't get your typical numbers. But he's healthy, and man, is he driving the bus. Very comfortable. Tall guy, leverages that length in his arms and legs. But good pitching can shut any of that down if Shields is hitting his spots.
Look at those home numbers.
Especially the average. 608 at home? Wow. Some guys have that average after 2 games. They've played.
Ooh. Good cut fastball that was just a little bit inside, according to DJ Rayburn. And according to Fox Tracks, it was just a little bit inside. Back to Shields. 10 pitches, 1, 2, 3. Down go the Rockies.
That's how you do it.
4-3 and now home for one of their longest road trips of the year. 9 games, 2 against Colorado, 4 against Baltimore, and 3 against Chicago.
Got to get those guys on, cause some havoc around the bases, and see who can emerge as a bus driver offensively. They got to have one to step up. Now Morales, he's been knocked around in his last 3 starts, going 1-1 with a 7.31. So somebody has gotten him in his last 3. You see that. He's a guy that's going to use all 4 pitches, not overpowering, 90 to 93. He's got a pretty good curveball that he'll use slow and hard, a slider, and a split finger he'll use as a changeup. He likes to bring the ground balls. Defending behind him, Tulowitzki has not erred all year. That's really incredible for a shortstop. He's got a couple Gold Gloves in his past. Pretty solid. He's having a year. Kid, they're raving about those at Nolan Arenado.
Or something like that.
How do you say his last name?
Arenado.
Arenado.
There you go.
Okay, thank you. He's a hot shot.
We knew who you were talking about.
Yeah, Arenado. He's a hot shot. Anytime you can win a Gold Glove your first year in the majors, you know you're doing something right.
Only the second time in history that a rookie third baseman has won a Gold Glove. The one before that was in 1957. 2-1 from Morales to Nori Aoki, who hit .250 on the road trip. That's not a number that's going to knock your eyes out, but he was hitting below 200 on the road before that trip. He has done most of his good work here at Kauffman Stadium. And as has typically been the case for him this year, he is facing a pitcher tonight he has never seen before. So there you go. Still 207 away from Kauffman Stadium, but almost 400 at home. And he works a full count against Morales.
Pretty solid average against lefties this year too, at 353. Has the ability to keep that front shoulder in when lefties try to break it away from you.
And through the left side, a base hit. Tough pitch too. It was in on him, and he gets it in between third and short for a leadoff single.
Amazing to see how he can stick a ball. Watch this. There's no follow through. Okay, he just kind of inside outed it from the very beginning, and he finishes with his hands high. He's got an unusual stroke. Big flamingo leg kick. Okay, but look at how he kept his inside hand inside the baseball, really pulling him in to go that way. Left field, he likes to hit them all out that way, pretty much. Anything soft, he'll pull. Makes him tough to defend.
Eric Hosmer hit .452 on the trip. 14 hits in the 7 games. Hit his first home run of the year. Had 5 doubles and drove in 8. Ball one outside from Morales. So there are the numbers.
Okay, now Hosmer, that's good for runner-up for Player of the Week in the American League. Encarnacion got it.
Morneau somehow got a glove on that ball, a blur off the bat of Eric Hosmer. And the Royals are lucky that that didn't turn into a double play. If that ball sticks in his glove, the Rockies get 2 outs. Instead, Aoki moves up to second base.
I'm going to say Morneau, and the Rockies are lucky that that ball didn't get by him. That would have scored Aoki from first base. That's one heck of a reaction. Looked like a hockey goalie on that. Look at him, leg saving a beauty. That ball would have went down that line for days. A nice play by Morneau.
Who was a hockey goalie, by the way, growing up in British Columbia.
Because you could see that style he had there. He's trying to put that leg out there, use that pad that he doesn't have.
Ball one on Billy.
Hey, check a look at that left leg. Now, does it look like a hockey goalie to you? Yeah.
he was first drafted by the Minnesota Twins as a catcher. So he had both the hockey goalie and catching instincts on that play, and that was a shot from Hosmer. 2-0 on Billy. He hit .250 on the trip. And the Padres and Mariners held him to just 2 RBIs. Now, he only had 3 plate appearances in the San Diego series with no DH. Two and one. No Royal has more than 4 at-bats against Franklin Morales. Now, they've seen him before. They have seen him 4 times before tonight, but all 4 of those outings were out of the bullpen, covering only 5 innings. And that was mostly when he was with the Boston Red Sox. So he makes a start against the Royals for the first time. Inside to make it 3-1.
So far early, Billy's hitting .235 with a runner in scoring position. 8 for 34. He's starting to heat up, though. Morales likes to get righties to swing and miss on that split finger changeup combination. Kind of moves down and away from him.
And Billy takes a walk.
There's a little respect right there. So Jordan Pacheco going to go out and talk to him. Say, look, now we need to get in the strike zone. These guys, if they score early, they're dangerous. Get him a lead. James Shield, that's all he needs. But let's try to stay down in the zone and see if they can double up Salvi, which has had a hard time staying out of those double plays this year. Salvi's grounded into 7 already. We don't want that to happen here.
Salvi hit .370 on the trip with a home run. And he has just 1 at bat against Franklin Morales. So Aoki at second base and Butler at first with 1 out.
Grafal, the hitting coach, would like to see Salvi start going to right center field a lot more. And that's one of the ways that you can stay away from rolling your hands over and hitting a ground ball. Try to stay inside the baseball and shoot the ball out that to right center. And that's Salvador's natural strength, to go to the opposite field. He's been a little pull happy this year. Maybe it's because he's hitting in a prominent role in the order.
Nice save by Pacheco. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Salvi, he's hitting .161. Last year he was well over .350 with runners in scoring position. That's a mark he'll pick up during the year as the year goes along, if he can start using that opposite field.
One of the best in the league last year with runners in scoring position. And again, a pitch down. Morales hoping that he would chase it. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Body language that Morales has given off here in this inning, and he's only thrown 16 pitches, is he might be a little nervous. That's what I'm picking up. He's taking time in between pitches. He's walking off the mound with kind of shrugging his shoulders a little. Hitters see that. Stepping off the mound. Catcher's having to come out to the mound a few times. So early on, they might be in his head. They haven't even scored off him.
Well, you'd pointed out he hasn't been very good in his last 3 starts, with an ERA over 7.
You can't carry your stats on your back when you're out there between the lines. They'll find you out. You have to carry yourself like you're on top of your game.
And now a tight strike zone, 3 balls and 1 strike. And Morales has had a bad time in his career in the first inning. So this isn't the first time he's been fidgety and backing off the rubber and taking a stroll around the mound.
He wants Sal to pull it.
which he does, right to Arenado out at second base and LeMahieu to first. And the 8th time this year that Salvador Perez has grounded into a double play. No score at Kauffman Stadium. For you to tweet your photo using hashtag KCFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown during tonight's game broadcast. Brought to you by AT&T. And that little guy taking his nap now so that he's awake in the later innings.
He's going to wait till the Royals hit, and it could get loud. Might wake him up.
Carlos Gonzalez, one of the best well-rounded players in the National League when you consider the 5 tools. Hitting for power, hitting for average, speed, defense, throwing arm. He's got it all. Pulls that foul into an empty seat on the right field side. 1 ball, 1 strike. Very early in his career, the player he was compared to more than any other was Carlos Beltran. Gonzalez is a left-hand batter where Beltran is a switch hitter. Both very graceful in the field. Trying to beat the shift and push a bunt to the left side. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Coming out of there a little too quickly. When you got all those guys playing over there, Escobar's over here, I mean, all you have to do is just do that, but you got to give yourself up a little bit earlier. You just got to kind of drop one down there. And there's no need to try to hide it till the last minute.
2-2.
He's got better numbers against left-handers than right-handers. He's hitting 250 off. 250 off lefties, better against righties. 385. Had him turned around. He's trying to pull it.
Shields off to a good start in the first inning, keeping the ball down. 2 of his 3 outs on the ground. Toward the left field corner and back into the first row. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Shields has faced the Rockies before, but it's been a while. Back in 2007 was the last time and the only time he faced the Colorado Rockies. That was in Denver. Still 2-2.
Okay, having Dale Swaim on your coaching staff like Ned has, third base coach, having managed for the Cubs the last couple of years, he knows all about these Rockies and some of the National League teams that are coming in. So when he has those infielders now shifting like they are, that's because he knows firsthand what they try to do. Big advantage to have somebody who just came over from the other league that's seen some of these guys in their meetings.
Foul off the left field line, so this will be at least a 10-pitch at bat. Shields and Gonzalez to begin the second inning. Arenado on deck, and then Morneau. Another foul ball. Fouled off 7 in this plate appearance.
First AB of the night. You're liking that, seeing as many pitches as you can. Give him an advantage later in his at-bats. 4 for 6 with 2 home runs off of James Shields in his career.
Another foul ball. Well, the fans didn't realize it was ball night at Kauffman Stadium. Come to the game, you'll get your own souvenir game used baseball, courtesy of Carlos Gonzalez.
James Shields is all around the plate. Looks to me like Gonzalez wants to shoot that ball to left field. His last several swings have been foul offs that way, and he's trying to push the ball that way. Now, early in the count, he was looking to pull. He pulled a few of them in the right field stands. Interesting at bat going here.
And he puts it in play, shallow center field, and nothing Kane can do. A 14-pitch at bat. 9 of the pitches were foul balls. So Shields threw 4 more pitches to Gonzalez in this inning than he did to 3 batters in the first inning.
And he wins it with a doinker. He'll take it. Good pitch, too. Down and away. He's on him. Kane knew right away early he couldn't get to that one.
And now Nolan Arenado. We talked about his defense last half inning, winning a Gold Glove last year as a rookie. Didn't take a very good swing there. 0-1. He has also done his share of work at the plate with a hitting streak that matches the number on his jersey and the longest hitting streak in the National League this year by 11 games. Arenado's ended 4 days ago at Cincinnati. 0-2.
That's very difficult to be able to hit in that many games straight.
Past Valencia and Escobar. So 2 soft hits. Shields, by the way, has thrown 17 pitches in this inning, 14 strikes. And the Rockies have 2 on with nobody out.
Just trickled between them.
And now Justin Morneau, who is putting his career back together in his first year with the Rockies. 5th in the league in hitting and 4th in the league in RBIs. High for ball 1.
He's hitting .341 off James in his career. 41 times he's faced him. 4 homers. Morneau's years with Minnesota.
2-0. Here's our Toyota League leaders for tonight. RBI leaders in the National League. Everybody chasing Giancarlo Stanton of the Marlins, but the next three are all with the Rockies. And then a little farther down the list, Nolan Arenado and Carlos Gonzalez also in the top 10.
5 in the top 8, man. That's incredible. They're all hot at the same time. That doesn't happen very often early in the season. But we talked about how many games they've played this year already, more than any other team. They played, what, 40 out of 42?
They played 40 games in the first 42 days of the season.
Haven't been weathered out, hadn't missed a game. And that's one of the reasons. They got rhythm.
That'll be out of play. 2-2.
Baseball is such a timing game. It's all about rhythm. Pitchers, hitters, fielders, every aspect of the game revolves around playing it every day. And when you're playing in the northeast and you're getting rained out, snowed out, you're missing games, doubleheaders here, that really has a hard time getting you with your timing in this game. So that's one of the reasons why they're so hot early. Now they have some talented players, but they have they're rolling. Only way to shut them down is to pitch.
Valencia, that leads him to the bag. Low throw. Hosmer picks it out of the dirt for a double play.
Eric Hosmer, man, is that guy. He saves hits, he saves errors, he saves runs. Valencia had a low throw. Hosmer stayed down low and picked it cleanly. That would have been a run for sure, maybe more. But he stays low. He's able to pick it off the grass. Great hands. See how he uses his other hand to even back up his glove hand? He's got a special pair of hands, no question. He uses both of them. He didn't just use his glove hand. That other hand is right there behind his glove hand.
And now strike two. Brandon Barnes came over from the Astros during an offseason trade. Dexter Fowler, a player going from the Rockies to the Astros. Oh, 0-2.
Barnes, he's a hard-nosed ball player. He's got good speed, nice arm. But he's one of those guys that didn't think it was going to take him 8.5 years of minor leagues to get established in the majors. And one of those reasons, Ryan, is because he's a football player mentality. He has that mentality, and so he was hitting on his front foot for so long it took him some time to learn how to let the ball come to him.
Whereas in football, you go to the game.
Right, you take it
Instead
to
of letting the game come to you.
Right, and so players that have a football mentality, sometimes it takes them longer offensively to get it together.
Got the call over the corner. So on one hand, no harm done after the back-to-back singles. On the other hand, as Shields faced only 4, he did throw 25 pitches.
Double play was huge. Way to pick up big game. early in this one. Don't forget, fans, that tomorrow is school day at the K. Come experience the most fun-filled educational day at the ballpark. Take a field trip and come to learn about the weather with Fox 4's chief meteorologist Mike Thompson. Demonstrations start at 10 a.m. and then enjoy the game at 1:10 as the Royals take on the Rockies. All students and schools can still get discounted tickets at royals.com/schoolday.
Jason Vargas and Julius Chassin will pitch tomorrow. Alex takes one up and in, ball one. Alex had 9 hits on the trip, 7 of those in the Seattle series. Batting at .266. 2-0. There's Morales, still not looking very calm on the mound yet, just snapping at that throwback from Pacheco. And that's inside, 3-0. Morales was first signed by the Rockies in '06, 16 years old, out of Venezuela. Got to the big leagues with the Rockies for the first time in '07. Parts of 5 years with them. Then to the Red Sox, and now back with the Rockies.
He's got a little herky-jerky in his motion. He's got a little violent delivery. A lot of moving parts.
Second walk, as he also walked Butler in the first inning. He was helped out quite a bit in the first by a double play hit by Salvador Perez, just as James Shields was helped in the second inning on a double play hit by Morneau.
That's Alex's 12th walk on the season. That leads the Royals in walks.
Danny Valencia, he batted cleanup in the game on Sunday at Seattle. Ball one. Took advantage of the increased playing time in San Diego and Seattle, hit .333. And he batted cleanup on Sunday as Salvador Perez got a day off.
You know, he wants to hit, but as wild as Morales has been early, might have to make him come to you.
Over the inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Out at second, and another double play. So 2 down, nobody on. Johnny Giavotella coming up. And we remind you, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Sunday's game at Seattle. Johnny Giavotella had the game's biggest hit.
Was a beauty. Got loud. 3-runner. Was a difference maker. Had to go, Gio. Couldn't have gotten his mother, Cindy, a better Mother's Day present than that 3-runner. And of course, Ned was pretty proud of it too.
Out of play, no balls, 2 strikes. That was a roller coaster of emotions on Sunday. Alcides Escobar hits an early grand slam. You figure the Royals were just going to cruise. Seattle comes back. Looked like they were going to win the game. And then in a flash, the Royals put a rally together. Giavotella hits the 3-run home run in the 7th inning. Seattle was scoreless over the last 4 innings. The Royals even the series and finished the road trip with a winning record. If you haven't heard, Omar Infante was placed on the disabled list before the game tonight. So that made the decision very easy for the Royals to keep Johnny Giavotella here and allow him to play second base. So Pedro Siriaco sitting next to Yordano Ventura was called up from AAA Omaha. And a solid base hit into left field for Giavotella.
That's what you want to do. Look up in the zone against Morales. He likes that ground ball, and obviously the 2 double plays turned by him early in this game is evident of that. Look up.
Infante came out yesterday for a workout during the day off, and everything pointed toward him coming back tonight, but they tested the back yesterday. It wasn't quite right, and they decided to put him on the shelf.
Yeah, stiffen up on him again as he's taking some ground balls.
Fouled back by Kane. Lorenzo came off the disabled list a week ago yesterday for the first game of the San Diego series and had 4 hits. One ball, one strike. Two and one.
Rockies have turned 38 double plays. That's tied for second in the National League, counting those 2 early in this game here. So their pitchers are ground ball pitchers,
which they have to be in Denver. And to add to that, the Royals have grounded into 34, which is the 4th most in the American League. So a team that often hits the ball hard on the ground against a defense which is one of the best at turning double plays. Three and one.
So Dan Bellino is the first base umpire. He's got his hands full when he's checking out Morales' move. Morales has balked 3 times this year already, Franklin Morales. And some left-handers have that balk move where their foot barely crosses the plane. No, it doesn't, and goes home. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can get a balk call out of him.
Third walk allowed by Morales, 2 in this inning. So the double play is even bigger as Alcides Escobar comes up. And the last time Escobar came up in the second inning was on Sunday, and he hit a grand slam. And with more on that, let's go to Joel.
And he did so, Ryan, with that pink bat on Mother's Day. He said that home run was for his mom, Isabella, back in Venezuela. Now here it is, and there's the bat. And after the game, he said that he was hoping that maybe he could bring that bat into this game. He did have the grand slam in it after all. He said it felt really good. He said he was going to see, because they're not allowed to use the pink bats, if he could get some black spray paint. He told me that during batting practice. Clearly, it didn't work, or he couldn't find any, so he is going with another bat. But Hud, you know it, guys get a little superstitious, and he felt like that bat had some good swings.
It did, but you know what? You can't do anything with that, with a finish there.
Paint thinner.
You know what? I'm going to sign that bat, give it to my mother, and let her keep it for the rest of her life. Let her have it. We can break in another bat.
Yeah, and she'll be here next month, too, so I'm sure she'll get it. And maybe he'll give her that one, too.
See if he drives in another run, and Gonzalez stumbled as he fielded the base hit. So Escobar in his last 2 at-bats, and his first at-bat, has driven in a combined 5 runs. 4 runs in his first at-bat Sunday, and another run in his first at-bat tonight.
And he just deadened it perfectly. Didn't get all the wood on it. Didn't need to. Gio's bringing it home. Escobar will add to that .229 average with runners in scoring position. A number that'll improve as the Royals heat up. They're hitting .235 as a team with a runner out there. But Esky's knocking some home this year. 16th stake.
Aoki led off the first inning with a single. This started with 2 outs and nobody on. Gordon had walked. Valencia grounded into a double play, and then a single, a walk, and an RBI single. In too tight. 2-0. Aoki on a 3-2 pitch in the first inning took a fastball that was in, and rather than trying to pull it, he went the other way with that fencing pose follow through, drilled to center, and Blackmon is back to make the play. So 4 runners in the inning. The Royals get 1 run because of the double play. A cool night, but a beautiful night at Kauffman Stadium. As we go to the 3rd inning and take a look at our Sprint Framley question of the day. It's a trivia question. Remember, with the Sprint Framley plan, everyone gets unlimited talk, text, and 1 gig of data for as low as $25 a month per line while on the Sprint network.
Wagner, that goes way back to the 30s. Nomar was a batting title holder.
I'll tell you, that Archie, he was a heck of a player.
Without Googling these guys, how are we going to know?
Archie Vaughn. I'm guessing Archie was not his birth name, but I'll bet he was from Arkansas. And that's how he got that nickname.
That's a good guess.
Thank you very much, Joe Lavero, our producer. It was Joseph Floyd Vaughn. Now, was he from Arkansas? He was from Arkansas.
You're right on, right
Well,
on.
how else would a guy get a nickname Archie?
Okay, is he the answer to our trivia question? We'll have to find that out a little bit later. There the guys are. Honus Wagner, some kind of numbers career, a Hall of Famer. But Nomar, did he win it once or twice, the batting title? I think one for sure. Not too many right-handers win that award.
Archie was a very good bunter. I just made that up. I'd never heard of Archie Vaughn before. Has anyone heard of Archie? You could put an Archie Vaughn in a catcher trivia question, a pitcher trivia question, a manager trivia question, and I would have no point of reference.
I'd heard of him.
You have?
I did. I think it can't be the winner, though.
Well, what did you hear about him?
I'd heard the name before. But I think he's a Hall of Famer.
1985 he was inducted into the Hall of Fame. So that's fairly recent. I had never heard of Joseph Floyd Vaughn or Archie Vaughn in my life.
That's one of the reasons we put these names on the question, so we can educate the people, Ryan. And yourself.
Or the announcers.
That's right. We're learning every day.
Into the left field corner. Alex runs over, but it's in the first row. Now we've learned that Archie better have been a good hitter, because in his rookie year he committed 46 errors.
Ooh, that's tough to get over that. But you know, he got in the Hall of Fame, so the Veterans Committee voted him in. There obviously was some skill there
with the bat.
Well, had to be with the glove. Now that was just 1 year, his first year. I'm sure he settled down, hopefully, after that. You would hope.
Jordan Pacheco as their starting catcher. The Rockies starting catcher Willeen Rosario is on the disabled list. As good as they've been offensively, they have two key players on the shelf. Rosario hit 21 home runs, drove in 79 last year for Colorado. And Michael Kadire, the longtime Twin, is on the disabled list for the Rockies, and he won a batting title last year. So all those big, impressive numbers, and they've got a couple of guys on the shelf. Nice play by the ball boy up the right field line, and another long at bat to begin an inning. Carlos Gonzalez had a 14-pitch, 9-foul ball at bat to begin the second inning, and now Pacheco has seen 9 pitches and fouled off 4. Didn't mean to do it. So after all that work, a swinging bunt, and Valencia throws him out. Well, we have a T-shirt Tuesday tonight, and then coming up on Friday, another fan favorite as the Orioles are in town. It's Buck Night and Summer Fireworks. Select items are just $1 at the concession stand, so you can stock up on hot dogs, peanuts, small Pepsi products. And then we expect you to stay after the game because we have a great fireworks show courtesy of Hy-Vee and Pepsi. It's Friday night against the Baltimore Orioles. And a strike to DJ LeMahieu. DJ LeMahieu is a former college teammate of Lewis Coleman at LSU. They won a national championship together in 2009, and he gets jammed. Escobar will throw him out. 6 ground balls, 6 outs on the ground for James Shields in 2 2/3 innings. That's a good sign. Here's Charlie Blackmon to the plate, and we go back to Joel.
Well, Ryan, you talked before about what a great start. He is off to second in the National League in batting average, runs and hits, third in homers and RBIs. This is the first time he has ever made an opening day roster in the major leagues, and he said to me that it just makes all the difference in the world. You don't have that transition that you have to go through every time you come up from the minors. You're replacing someone until you know that they are coming back. Your routine is better. It's different in the minors than the big leagues, and just been a lot easier to know that he's out there every day, that he fits in. And talking to Justin Morneau, I said, what's the most impressive thing about him? And he said he has an approach and a plan for every single at-bat. Most younger guys, they're turning back to the hitting coach, asking him what the guy is going to throw.
Change up for a strike, 1-1.
Congratulations. It's going to be a long wait for guys to finally make that roster. But I'm sure he knows, and Tulo can tell him, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
And he had a heck of a start. Talk about hitting the ground running very early in the season. In fact, the first week he went 6 for 6 against the Diamondbacks, and he's just continued to hit ever since.
You can roll off of a good start. That can help you have a great season, or sometimes pitching second, third time around, they start adjusting to you. Then you get into a little funk and the confidence goes, and there goes your batting average. Seen it happen.
Changeup. Shields strikes out his second. 3 scoreless innings as he gets the Rockies 1-2-3 in the third. McGregor, and nearly 18 years ago founded Freedom Fire Ministries, a nonprofit organization that cares for children living in the federal housing developments located east of downtown Kansas City, mentoring over 700 youth. Freedom Fire also provides alternative and educational programs that help youth with their schooling. Joining the game from Buck O'Neill's old seat right behind home plate.
Congratulations, Dr. Bruce.
Well, Eric Hosmer in the first inning showed Franklin Morales what he could do with his fastball and hit a shot that was handled somehow by Morneau at first. So this time he gets a big looping curveball. And now a fastball outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Two and one.
You know, Arky Vaughan was a 9-time All-Star and was in 5 MVP votings, and he was in the top 5. He's taken off. Now you've captured my imagination, even though it's small. And he's a pretty good ball player.
Arenado into foul ground to take care of Hosmer. 1 down in the third. We have discovered that he played for the Brooklyn Dodgers and retired in 1948.
Pittsburgh before that. 10 years with Pittsburgh.
So how do we not select him as the answer to our trivia question? And if you'd like to learn more about Arky Vaughan, just go to www.askhud.com.
That's right. We'll look it up. It's all at your fingertips nowadays, folks.
Billy walked in the first inning and then was part of the ground ball double play hit by Perez. Got the corner, and it's 0-2. Hey, Royals superfan Chris with a Gold Glove play. Left his feet. He stands there. If you've been to Kauffman Stadium, you know who Chris is. He stands in that spot every single game. And for years he has traveled to follow the Royals on the road. Billy hit it right to him. That away, Chris.
Outstanding. And he's wearing the giveaway pants. Zubas. What a grab. He caught it in the dead spot in his glove, so it tells me there's no dead spot in his glove.
He left his feet, too. I mean, that was not routine.
He's got skills.
On the ground to Tulowitzki. Both pitchers are ground ball pitchers when they're right. And Morales has gotten 6 outs on the ground. And the same for James Shields early in the game. You can catch every strikeout, every game ender, and even history on MLB Whip Around weeknights at 9 p.m. on Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Down and in, ball 1 to Sal. Royals had 2 on, 1 out in the first inning, and Morales got Sal to ground into a double play. It's the 8th time this year he's grounded into a double play. And there's a base hit to left field. Sal takes a wide turn. He'll hold as Gonzalez gets it back in. That is 4 hits for the Royals, and with 3 walks, they've had 7 base runners already.
Elevation is a beautiful thing if you're a hitter. Ball was up above the belt. Salvi had no choice but to turn on it. Royals scored their run last inning with 2 outs. See if it's a 2-out hack a night.
They have scored their last 4 runs with 2 outs. Johnny Giovatella's 3-run home run in the 7th inning on Sunday was with 2 outs. And they've had 3 hits and 1 of their walks with 2 outs. Inside 2-0. All 4 hits have been singles. Two and 1. Two and 2.
Morales obviously trying to get Alex out inside. And he'll try to sweep that breaking ball away from him.
Three balls, 2 strikes. So Morales on the edge of walking his 4th. Royals have the added offensive advantage here of Perez breaking early with 2 outs. Danny Valencia is on deck. And Alex grounds it right to LeMahieu. That's the inning. So another base runner. Royals are scoreless in the 3rd. 1-0 KC at the end of 3. the fourth inning. You can vote for the Royals Player of the Month at rallyhouse.com/Royals, and you'll be entered to win a majestic prize pack from Rally House. Rockies no runs, 2 singles against James Shields in the first 3 innings. Shields has kept the ball down. 6 of his 9 outs have been on the ground, and he has 2 strikeouts. So only 1 out in the air so far. And with a strike to Corey Dickerson. However, Shields is at 52 pitches already. And not because he's all over the place and working long counts, mostly because the Rockies have hit 21 foul balls already. 22.
Ball's dipping and diving, and he's pitching and locating up in the zone.
Shields coming off his longest outing as far as pitch count goes. He threw 118 pitches on Wednesday at San Diego and throwing 7 scoreless innings. Got him to chase a pitch up. That'll help. Just 3 pitches to get Dickerson to begin the 4th inning. And now Troy Tulowitzki. He grounded out to Shields in the 1st inning. Well, anytime you talk about the Rockies and their offense, I think the knee-jerk reaction is, okay, well, what are they doing on the road? As Coors Field in Denver is one of the most hitter-friendly ballparks in the history of the game, and there is quite a difference. They have outscored their opponents by 55 runs at home, scoring almost 8 runs a game. On base plus slugging of a tad over 1,000. And they've actually pitched better at home than they have on the road, which is a surprise. 1-1 on Tulowitzki. The Royals, it seems that wherever they go, all they hear is, you should have been here last week. The weather was beautiful. Base hit to left field. Alex gets on it in a hurry, and that'll hold Tulowitzki to a single. And when the Royals have come home like they have on this homestand, they just miss the warm weather, and then there's another cool down. The Rockies, it's been the other way. Everywhere they've gone, they've had not only beautiful weather but good hitting weather.
Playing regularly helps that rhythm. Tulo, good stroke. Now he's hitting, we mentioned it, 608 at home in Denver, and he's hitting 243 on the road before that hit there. Royals will have a chance. They go there in August, the 19th and 20th, middle of the week. They'll get a chance to check out the Mile High atmosphere.
0-1 on Gonzalez. It's one of the quirks of the new schedule with 15 teams in each league, that one of the interleague matchups is a home and home. We had that last year with the Braves. 2 games in Atlanta, 2 games here at Kauffman Stadium. One ball, 1 strike. Gonzalez had a 14 pitch at bat leading off the 2nd inning and ended up blooping a single to center field. And there were 9 foul balls among those 14 pitches.
Gonzalez has grounded into 5 double plays this year so far, and James Shields wants to stay hot here. Put him in the lane. Tulowitzki has no stolen bases.
Quick move, but Tulowitzki was barely off the bag. For all their impressive numbers leading the league, the Rockies are in the middle of the pack when it comes to stolen bases, and with the power that they have, there really isn't much of a need to run. Line foul into an empty seat. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, with all that pop, you don't want to take a chance wasting any outs on the bases. Charlie Blackmon, their leadoff hitter, he's got the most bags on their team. He's got 8.
Two and two. Now, when we're talking about some of the other offensive numbers, it's one thing to say the Rockies lead the league in batting average, but look at the next closest team in each category. I mean, it's not even close. 41 points in batting average, 11 home runs, 57 runs. Next closest team. Escobar all by himself on the left side, so he runs along the edge of the grass to make the play. And Gonzalez is the second out. 9 more home runs than the next closest team. Their on base percentage is 22 points better than the next closest team. So on offense, it's in the National League. It's the Rockies and then everybody else.
Did you say that Ned had to readjust his glasses?
That's what he said to the assembled media before the game tonight. And somebody said, well, what do you think about the Rockies' numbers on offense? He said, I had to put my glasses on just to make sure that what I was seeing was real. Oh, and 1 on Arenado. He singled to left in the second inning. That was his 50th hit of the year. And we're right about at the quarter mark of the season. The Rockies are right at it. The Royals are a couple of games behind, so that would put him on pace for a 200 hit season. Line to center, and that will sink and drop in front of Kane. Arenado is 2 for 2, and the Rockies have runners at first and second with 2 outs. And now Justin Morneau. All Morneau has to do this year is replace Todd Helton at first base, who was their regular first baseman for 17 seasons and retired after last year. Hosmer dives. He can't come up with it. Here's Tulowitzki around third. Aoki will play it to third. Arenado is safe there. So now the Rockies come through with a 2-out RBI. Morneau drives in his 30th, and the game is tied at 1.
Looking in. Got it right there where he's looking. Ball was by the diving Hosmer. No chance.
And now Brandon Barnes with 2 down. Shields struck him out looking in the second inning. On the ground to Escobar. He'll get the force at second base to end the inning. 1 run, 3 singles for the Rockies in the 4th, and we're tied at 1. College and King in Overland Park. And by your Midwest Ford dealer. Visit us at yourmidwestforddealers.com. And here at Fox Sports Kansas City, we always comply with the Federal Communications Commission's rule that if you are broadcasting a live sporting event and there is a full moon, you must have at least one shot of that full moon during the game broadcast.
I like that rule. It's a beautiful planet.
Well, it's a moon.
That looks like a planet to me.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's school day at the K. I'm going to go out and see.
Maybe they can cover the whole star, planet, and moon concept.
That might be good. I need to be refreshed a little, I guess.
You know, we landed on the planet Moon in, well, anyway.
Okay.
You think Danny Valencia is going to get a leadoff base hit, and
That's
you're right.
That's exactly right. But Mike Thompson, our meteorologist, tomorrow, I'm going to enroll in his class. He can teach me something. Danny will take that knock.
Five hits, 8 base runners for the Royals against Morales, who has walked 3. And now Johnny Giavotella, he scored the Royals' run in the second inning. Now, Johnny, we've known him since he was called up for the first time, being a very hard worker, very polite. He is a team guy through and through. You never hear Johnny complain. And I don't think he's going to take anything for granted since Omar Infante has been on the disabled list, but it gives him a chance to breathe a little bit, not wondering when's Infante going to be back in the lineup, at least for a few more days or a week. That'll help him relax, I would imagine, Hud, and concentrate more on just playing the game as to when is there going to be another roster move, and am I going back to Omaha?
Yeah, you know, and that's not a fun game to be playing in your mind.
One and two. Infante, by the way, our buddy Chris got another foul ball. This one a ricochet out of the upper deck. So if you're planning on playing Powerball tonight, you might want to stop by and shake hands with Chris before you go buy your ticket.
It's hot.
2-2. Anyway, Infante a week ago tonight was trying to chase down a ground ball on the right side in San Diego and wasn't able to finish the play because his back tightened up on him. Didn't play on Wednesday, didn't play the entire Seattle series, and then had a workout yesterday. And as Ned Yost described it before the game tonight, the workout was going just fine for the first several minutes, and then while he was fielding ground balls, the bat tightened up on him again. Shallow right field, and Barnes comes up to make the play. Giavatella's 1 for 2.
I remember that play in San Diego now, and to myself I thought, you know, looks like he can bend down a little further.
We kind of looked at each other and thought, yeah, he gave up on that a little soon, didn't he?
There you go.
Something was grabbing him in the back.
Have you ever had a back spasm like that where it lays you up for a week or so?
Not quite like that, but I know what it's like to have a back spasm. And baseball is a sport where you will hear a lot more about hamstring injuries and lower back injuries just because of the nature of all the standing around that goes on. It's not a sport with continuous movement where the hamstrings and the lower back and the other lower body muscles are staying loose all the time. One and one on Kane. He walked in the second inning. And those are the muscles that seem to tighten up first when there is inactivity, and especially prolonged standing.
Fast twitch muscles.
Two and one.
That's why it's important for athletes in baseball to train themselves, train their muscles to explode quickly. Stop, start. There's not a lot of distance in baseball.
Nobody is saying foul ball, and now finally home plate umpire DJ Rayburn does.
You know, you could, an outfielder could argue that, like Gordon. As far as distance goes, let's watch him hit that off of his foot. He jogs in and out of that dugout all the way out to left field twice an inning for 9 innings and more. That would be considered a long distance run, wouldn't it?
About what, 100 yards at least?
I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Course of a game. That's a long run.
So you're talking
there's some endurance.
200 yards every inning. Jogging out, jogging back in.
Right.
Pounded into deep left field and gone. Lorenzo Cain has his first home run of the year.
First home run for Lorenzo since last July 4th. That grand slam. Welcome back, Loki. That's a beautiful shot. A couple pitches before that, he swung and missed on one, and he looked like he wanted that one, and he got it back. He knew it. Danny Valencia was running on the pitch, got the fastball in, and got up underneath it.
Escobar shows bunt and takes a strike. So we were hoping we'd see some power carryover from Sunday afternoon. The Royals hit 2 home runs on Sunday, and those 2 home runs were responsible for 7 runs. Grand slam and a 3-run home run, and now Cain with a home run with a man on to give the Royals the lead 3-1. And now Escobar, who drove in the first run back in the second inning. 2-1. And that's lined up the right field line, and that's down into the corner. And let's see how Barnes plays it. He gets a good bounce off the wall. That can be an adventure for a player who hasn't been to Kauffman Stadium before. Escobar is 2 for 2, and that's his 10th double.
Nice swing on a pitch that his eyes recognized it was elevated. Morales being inconsistent with his location. Look at Escobar's eyes and head. It stayed the same place the whole way. That ball's up and away by a couple of inches out of the zone. But when it's elevated, hitters' eyes light up. You try to pull that pitch, you're going to pop it up. But Escobar, watch his head. Doesn't even move. Jim Wright, pitching coach, coming out trying to talk with Morales into getting that ball back down again where he was the first couple innings, and he had a couple of double plays turned.
Former Royal Jim Wright played for the Royals in 81 and 82. Aoki has singled and lined to center field. And with one out, the Rockies need to keep an eye on Alcides Escobar, who has stolen 11. Showing bunt and taking a strike. Royals trying to get back on track here at Kauffman Stadium. In their first 11 games, the Royals had the best record in the major leagues at home. And now, entering tonight, they have lost 4 in a row. One ball, one strike. Scoring 4.5 runs a game in those first 11 at Kauffman Stadium. Batting just under 290.
Look at that ERA, though. That's what's hurting them right there. They didn't pitch.
And a lot of that, almost all of that, was that 3-game series with Detroit. 2-1 on Aoki. Last homestand, the Royals won the first 2 with the Blue Jays, and we're going for a sweep. Toronto took game 3, and then the Tigers swept the Royals in 3 games. 75 pitches already for Franklin Morales. And he has not been in sync or has had a very good rhythm all night.
In the very first inning on, but he got those ground balls on fastballs. They were right over the plate.
There goes Escobar, and it's fouled away by Aoki. So his shortest inning has been 17 pitches, which is not necessarily a short inning. .50-50 balls and strikes. Not quite what you're looking for.
Royals want to continue to take advantage of it.
Still 2-2. Talking about Omar Infante's back. Franklin Morales was moved up a day in the rotation because Jorge De La Rosa, who once played for the Royals, has been having some back spasms. Morales was supposed to start tomorrow. And again, he and Pacheco having a tough time deciding on a pitch. And we will tell you that Off the Bat from the MLB Fan Cave takes the love of the game to the next level, going behind the scenes with the biggest stars in baseball and pop culture. Tuesday nights at 10 p.m. Central on MTV2. Past the mound, hit the side of the mound, and LeMahieu throws out Aoki as Escobar moves up to third. 2 down. Yeah, you just get the feeling, Hud, with all that fussing, all that shaking off, all that backing off the rubber, all those pitches, that he's due to throw a fat pitch right down the middle of the plate. Well, he's already done it once in this inning to Lorenzo Cain. And Hosmer has already hit a rocket off of him as a ground ball out to first in the first inning. Well, he got a pitch out over the plate, but he chops it out to LeMahieu, who throws him out to end the inning. Lorenzo Cain. It's his first home run of the year. It is worth 2. And the Royals regain the lead.
He hit it to the planet moon.
fourth, and Lorenzo Cain hit a 2-run home run in the bottom of the 4th inning. James Shields has a 2-run lead as he pitches into the 5th, thanks to Lorenzo's first home run of the year. Rockies have their 8, 9, and 1 hitters coming up. Pacheco, LeMahieu, and Blackmon. Ball 1 to Jordan Pacheco. He grounded out to third. First time up. One and one. And we welcome to the booth Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery. Hi, Monty. How are you?
I'm good.
Good to see
you
you.
guys back.
It's been a long time.
Welcome back home.
Didn't that seem longer than a week, that road trip?
It seemed like a long time when I was watching on TV.
Oh, man. And it would have been even longer if the Royals didn't pull that game out on Sunday and in the end finished with their first winning road trip of the year. 1 ball, 2 strikes. I want to ask you about some research that Dave Holtzman did for us. Now, James Shields, every pitch he has is a high quality pitch. He has a good cut fastball. So a fastball that has some late break to it. There's a good 4-seam fastball at the knees, and he strikes out Pacheco looking. 1 down in the 5th. Dave Holtzman did some research for us, Monty, and discovered that Shields is throwing that pitch a lot more often this year than he has in years past. He'd throw it about 20% of the time in the past, and a little over 30% of the time this year. Of course, they keep track of everything. They didn't keep track of those pitches when you were playing. Did you know what percentage of the time you threw certain pitches when you played?
I had no clue.
Back when you were pitching to Arky Vaughn?
That's right. How did they even play back then?
But
Well,
that's
the opposing hitters would always let you know you're throwing too many breaking balls.
right. But that's a pitch that is debated quite a bit. And Mariano Rivera, I think, made that pitch popular again. But you always hear about a pitcher who falls in love with his cutter. Not that Shields has done that. He doesn't throw it that much. That's hit hard, but right to Giavotella, who smothers it up against his body and throws out LeMahieu. And they're 2 down in the 5th inning. And when somebody says they're falling in love with his cutter, it's usually a negative. They're implying something negative when they say something like that. What is it about the cut fastball that can be so good and at times so bad?
Well, I think it's a pitch that a pitcher has the ability to locate very, very consistently. It doesn't take a lot of extra on your arm. Now, there is also an argument that maybe the cutter's responsible for some injuries, but it doesn't wear you out like throwing a lot of off-speed pitches, a lot of breaking balls. So you're able to pinpoint the location on that cutter, and then it also will make your fastball better too. So if you got a sinking fastball that you're going to throw in the low 90s, and you got that cutter that's going to be maybe 89 or 90, it's a little separation and they go different directions. So the ability to command that and control that pitch makes it a very effective pitch.
Okay, Monty, if there's no finger pressure or any torque on the elbows, the finger pressure on your middle finger?
Yeah, you're going to throw it off your middle finger, and basically when you throw the ball, it's going to kind of come off to the side, almost like a little bit of throwing a football. It's kind of a combination between a fastball and a slider. It's just going to kind of come off the side. So you're going to cut the ball. Essentially, that's why it's called a cutter, because you cut the ball on the side.
And that pitch in on Blackmon's hands. Close play at first, but Blackmon is out, and so are the Rockies 1, 2, 3 in the 5th inning. We'll chat more with Monty when we come back. 4.5 play. The Royals lead the Rockies. Ball is brought to you by Thoroughbred Ford. The selection is bigger and the prices are lower at Thoroughbred Ford. Alcides Escobar has driven in a run. Lorenzo Cain has driven in 2. His coming on his first home run of the year. Billy Butler, Salvador Perez, and Alex Gordon in the 5th inning. Big breaking ball in for a strike. We're chatting with Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery, and we were talking about the cut fastball last half inning. Hit hard, but right to Tulowitzki at short. And Billy is out, number 1. I remember Joakim Soria went through a stage here. I know you watched him very closely, where the Royals said he has fallen in love with his cutter. He's thrown his cutter too much. And Bob McClure was the pitching coach at the time, and it was Mac's estimation that was hurting his other pitches.
And that's sometimes the negative on trying to throw other pitches, because it does take away from your bread and butter pitchers. We know, like Mariano Rivera, him throwing his cutter, that was his bread and butter pitch. He was able to almost go out with that cutter and play catch with a catcher on a regular basis and get guys out by doing it. And when you try to maybe come up with a new pitch midstream during your career, if you're a fastball guy and you start throwing cutters, sometimes you're doing the hitters a favor. I always felt like, if I'm going to want to get a pitch on the outside part of the plate to a right-handed batter, I'm going to throw my slider, because I know for sure it's going to get my slider to that outside part of the plate. Whereas a cutter, I could throw the cutter very effectively in a bullpen, in practice, but trying to use it in a game, it just seemed like it worked in a negative manner for me. So I kind of trashed it, but I agree. I would like with Bob McClure. And if you remember, Joakim Soria had the injuries after that experiment with cutters as well.
Right. And his idol was and is Mariano Rivera. And I'm sure Mariano Rivera, the type of human being he is, tried to teach that pitch to 100 different people, and it just didn't come out of their hand like it did his hand.
Exactly.
Bud, how did you approach a guy that they say, okay, this guy's got a good cutter? Right? Did they even use the term cutter when you were playing?
They did, Ryan, and I faced mostly lefties. Ooh, man.
Royals go deep again. 4 home runs in their last 2 games. That's number 4 for Salvador Perez.
Morales, he left it up with 2 strikes. Whether it was a cutter, a fastball, a slider, whatever it was elevated, and Salvi knew it. Then it had a little bit of break to it coming in. And Ryan, back to your question, cutters from a left-hander are thrown at you right in the inside part of the plate, and then it comes in and you break your bat. That's what those are designed for. But when they're out over the plate like that, hitters can trace that. They can see it coming and just put the barrel on it, try to get underneath it, like Crow's telling them.
Yep.
See, hit the back underside of that ball,
spinning it.
Yeah, and it gets some spin on it.
Alex has walked and grounded out to second base. I'll tell you, one of the best cutters I've seen is the one that Wade Davis throws. I mean, he gets his in the low to mid 90s.
You can see it too. It breaks about an inch maybe or 2.
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot. I mean, it looks like fastball, and it just has near fastball velocity and breaks off the plate just enough. And like you said, Rex, sometimes the guys like the Mark Burleys, the soft throwing lefties, they can make right-handed batters look silly just by flipping that cutter up there, and you know it's coming.
Yeah, and if it's located properly, it breaks your bat. It's designed to jam you, hit a ground ball to the third baseman, pop it up. Terry Mulholland, Al Leiter had 2 really good cutters for lefties.
One lefty the Royals fans will remember is Charlie Lee Brandt.
2-2 on Alex.
I faced Charlie before. Charlie, he was funky. His delivery, he'd coil up in a little ball and There was some arms and legs. There was some deception in his delivery.
No doubt.
Oh.
Three and two. Mentioned a little while ago, Monty, that Willeen Rosario, the Rockies' regular catcher, is on the disabled list right now, dealing with a viral infection. So Jordan Pacheco is catching Franklin Morales, and maybe this is related, maybe not, but it just seems like Morales and Pacheco have had a tough time getting on the same page tonight.
Yeah,
a lot of shaking off, a lot of meetings.
Yep, and fighting each other a lot. I mean, if you're a pitcher, you don't have your good stuff, you're going to struggle to find something that works. But if you have a catcher that knows you really well, that can be one of the best things to do. He can come out and say, hey, let's get off the fastball, let's go back to the breaking ball. You know, he will help you get in sync, and that's the beauty of knowing the pitcher. And that's one thing that Salvador Perez does. He does such a good job with the Royals staff.
4 walks now for Morales and no strikeouts. There's Walt Weiss, manager of the Rockies in his second year, former Major League infielder, former Rookie of the Year with the Oakland A's.
Morales and home plate umpire Dan Bellino had a few words, and Morales was like, where was that? Bellino motioned it was in, and Morales went, no, it was right down the middle. So he's frustrated.
Well, we saw something on Sunday that you hardly ever see, and Danny Farquhar was struggling, and Royals had that big inning late against him, and he missed a pitch. He threw his arms in the air. Remember that? To the home plate umpire. Marcus Patillo, the young kid.
And you know what happened then? Gio bombed him.
Alex runs. The throw comes in on a bounce, and Alex has his first stolen base.
Great jump. Good time to run. Stay out of a potential double play. Beautiful takeaway. Great jump. That's where he got it.
Down and away, 2-0 on Valencia, who was grounded out, singled, and scored a run.
If you're a pitcher struggling to throw strikes, you certainly don't want to show up the home plate umpire.
Over the outside, 2-1 on Valencia. Lorenzo Cain hit a 2-run home run last inning to put the Royals in front. Perez is homered in this inning, and now Valencia sends it out to Tulowitzki. 2 down as Alex stays at second base. And now Morales coming up on 100 pitches, and he's not even done with the 5th inning yet. We'll get Johnny Giavotella.
Like the offense tonight, they're being selective.
That'll be out of play. It's the first time all year the Royals have hit 4 home runs in the span of 2 games. Escobar and Giavotella on Sunday, and now Cain and Perez tonight.
I think that Giavotella home run on Sunday was a great example of, at some point you need home runs because you're going to have to come back from a deficit middle, late part of the ball game, and if you don't have the ability to hit the ball in the ballpark, very unlikely going to happen, and we saw it with one swing of the bat with Johnny.
Center field, well hit, but playable for Blackman, and that's the inning. Salvador Perez on an 0-2 pitch gives the Royals a 3-run lead.
Could it be the planet Moon?
in history during the baseball season, there is a great George Brett fact. Today, there are a pair of them. And we welcome you back to Kauffman Stadium. Joel Goldberg up on the roof right by the number 5. This date back in 1976, George Brett, for the 6th straight game, had 3 hits. No one in the American League had ever done that before, and only once it had been done back in the 1920 year for Jimmy Johnston of Brooklyn. The other interesting fact, this date, 1993, George Brett hit his 300th home run and became only the 6th ever player with 300 home runs and 3,000 hits. One of the many reasons why that number 5 is up here on top of the Hall of Fame, and that home run ball is on display beneath us in the Royals Hall of Fame. Ryan, the view of the Salvador Perez home run from up on the roof was spectacular, and the planets look awfully good from up here too.
Yeah, one of them is a full planet tonight. Thank you, Joel. 2-0 on Dickerson. Monty, I imagine you saw the 300th home run and the 3,000th hit.
I did. That was quite spectacular.
Now, did you run in from the bullpen when he got his 3,000th hit?
We all did. We all came in. I'll never forget guys, all around. And Hippolito Pichardo is the one that stands out to me because he just kind of had his hand over and tapping George on the helmet. Congratulations.
That was in Anaheim, wasn't it?
It was.
On a wicked hop.
Tim Fortuno.
And then Ken Oberkfels, who had took a hop way over his head. It was a rocket.
Three and 2 on Dickerson, who is from the same hometown as Gerard Dyson, Macomb, Mississippi. Oh for 2 so far tonight with Tulowitzki on deck and Carlos Gonzalez in the hole. 92 miles an hour, 5 strikeouts for James Shields, and the second time he has struck out Dickerson with a fastball.
No reason to throw the cutter when you got the good 4-seamer going. Blow it right past him. Sometimes you're doing a hitter a favor when you're taking a little off a pitch, when he's having difficulty catching up with your good fastball, or whatever your pitch is going to be, you want to stay with it.
That last outing that James had in San Diego, he had a lot more sinking action down, and his changeup had more movement down. So he was really, he had it working where he wanted. Tonight, it's not as pronounced, but still, he's staying out of the middle of the plate for the most part.
Well, he bounced back nicely in that last outing. In the game he had here against the Tigers, he seemed like he was overthrowing, and the ball was up in the strike zone, and the Tigers were on fire, and the result was not good.
0-2 on Tulowitzki, 1 for 2 with a run scored. Academy Sports and Outdoors will give us a breakdown of Shields' outs by pitch. 4 with his fastball, 1 with his changeup. Strikeouts by pitch. Another fastball with a strikeout.
Pretty good hitter to just throw that fastball by.
And that was a milestone strikeout for James Shields. That was 1,500 in his career.
Hey, Salvi's saying, hey, let me have the ball. I know you don't really care too much about any individual awards right now, but that ball is going in the safe.
Shields has no idea. he wanted to know why Salvador Perez asked for the ball. He just kind of shrugged his shoulders and put his hands out. How about that? And Sal told him to turn around and look at the scoreboard. And that's when he realized that's why everybody was standing and cheering and why Sal wanted the ball gone. And You hardly ever see a smile on James Shields' face when he's on the top of that mound.
I've never seen that. Okay, he's not sure what's going on. Salvi's saying, all right, I'll give you the ball. No, it's going, what is everybody doing?
I wasn't doctoring that ball up, was I?
No, and what? What's everybody clapping for? That's what makes baseball so beautiful. Look at him. He's okay, all right, I get it. All right, and then he backs off and tips his cap to the crowd. I've never seen that. He was playing along with the moment, though.
In the middle of an inning with a smile on his face, that's very unusual.
1 ball, 2 strikes. There's the tip of the cap.
That was beautiful.
He is now 18th among active pitchers with 1,500 strikeouts. I don't even know if he knows how to pitch with a smile on his face.
A lot of times when you're on the mound, the umpire will ask you to throw the ball in, and it's almost like you're a little flattered because you think that the hitter maybe thinks you're doctoring the ball up a little bit, scuffing the ball, and you think, well, that's a pretty good compliment. I know I'm not, but when they do that, I think that's what James Shields thought, was they're throwing the ball out thinking maybe he's scuffing up the ball.
Well, whether he's screaming into his glove, whether he has a scowl on his face, or in this case, a smile, he knows how to pitch. He has struck out 7 and 1,501 in his career. Last time up, he had a 2-run home run in the 4th against Franklin Morales.
Oh, yeah, it's good to see Lorenzo making contact and leaning back like he does. He looks a lot like his hero, Torrey Hunter, when he hits a home run. Had a little back lean, good spot, big home run. That got the guys all fired up.
That's our Chrysler drive of the game, and it was the first of 2 home runs tonight for the Royals, as Salvador Perez has also gone deep. So the bats starting to warm up, and for the first time this year, the Royals have 4 home runs over 2 games. Our Sonic Slam-It-In contestant is Randy Scrivener from Leavenworth. If the Royals hit a home run in this inning, Randy wins $600. If the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Randy wins $25 grand from Sonic and the Kansas City Royals. As Tommy Kahnle is a Chevy call to the bullpen. Kahnle is a Rule 5 pick, taken from the Mets this past offseason. Pitched in Double-A all of last year, so per the Rule 5 rules, he has to stay with the big league club all year or be offered back to the Mets.
Good mid-90s fastball, tight slider, and a changeup.
Lorenzo has also walked tonight. Escobar next, followed by Aoki. 2-0. And now 3-0 as that pitch was way inside. Lorenzo staring out toward Canely, wondering if that was intentional.
No, Canely, he's wanting to do all he can to throw strikes in this situation. Down by 3, you don't want to put anybody on.
Three and one.
Fresh off a homer, 3-1. If he throws you one like that last one, you might want to take a shot at it.
A mile in the air. Of course, it would be 2 miles if we were in Denver. So they know how to handle the high pop-ups. Tulowitzki makes the play, 1 down. So the Rockies shortstop makes a play. The Royals shortstop is coming up. Our Sprint Framley question of the night. The answer is Luke Appling, 388 in 1936. Right behind him, Archie Vaughn. Can't believe only 12% voted for our buddy Archie.
Those are all great shortstops.
Hey, there's Archie.
You want a baseball card, though, that Honus Wagner's pretty valuable.
Yeah, I think Michelangelo painted that picture of Honus Wagner.
I know I wasn't a teammate with him.
When did he play? In the 1600s?
We're good.
And now Canely having some control problems with Escobar. Dave Holtzman tells me that Luke Appling hit a home run as a 75-year-old at an old timers game in 1982 at old RFK Stadium in Washington over the regular fence dimensions.
Really?
75 years old. Yeah.
Come on.
Thought Escobar might have a shot at the cycle on Sunday. His first 2 hits were a grand slam and a single. Those were his only 2 hits. He has a single and a double so far tonight. And takes a strike, 2-1.
He's got his average up to 287.
Two and two. Rockies last year did not have a good season from their bullpen. They had the highest ERA among National League teams. Of course, half the games are played at Coors Field, so those numbers will be inflated. Hit well into left center field. It is a cool night, so the air is heavy, and Blackman runs it down for the second out. Well, if you're coming out to Kauffman Stadium for the Baltimore homestand or the Baltimore series, which is Thursday through Sunday, look for the Kia display at gates B and D and register for your chance to win Diamond Club box tickets and the grand prize of throwing out the first pitch on September the 21st. Nori Aoki takes a strike from Canely. James Shields has given up 1 run in 6 innings. He is right at 90 pitches. He has struck out 7, including all 3 outs in the 6th. 0-2. One and 2 on Aoki.
I don't guess that changeup was held right or something. He's got a couple of outs, but I would say he's effectively wild.
He had Kane and Escobar both a little uncomfortable with some pitches high and inside. Slap foul, still 1 and 2. We were talking about the inflated numbers because of playing at Coors Field. Last year, the Rockies' team ERA was 4.57. But that was the 3rd best in team history.
It's just a tough place to pitch. That's amazing.
It's a high team ERA.
Yeah, it is.
Into the seats, back of the third base dugout. Two and 2.
Canely, he's beaten up Pacheco.
LeMahieu charges in, quick toss, and gets Aoki by a half step. Royals 3 up, 3 down. James Shields back to the mound with a 4-1 lead.
For Less has crowns Diamond Club and the best dugout box seats to all Royals games. Guys, ticketsforless.com is your trusted source for all Royals tickets. This year, Tickets for Less is celebrating 10 years of local ownership. Check out ticketsforless.com, and you too can sit in the best seats at Kauffman Stadium. 1 more against the Rockies, 4 against the Orioles, 3 against the White Sox. Quick trip to LA, and then a few more against Houston. A lot of home games coming up. Guys?
Joel, thank you, as James Shields goes back to work in the 7th inning. Arenado, Morneau, and Barnes coming up. And he and Arenado can't get on the same page, and another smile from James Shields.
Yeah, we're seeing him. He's pitching loose. Nice.
Belted to left field. Alex to the track and brings it down right in front of the fence. I would imagine Arenado, playing at Coors Field, is used to that ball landing in the seats.
He is. As he walked back to the dugout, he was looking at that on the scoreboard. He's probably shaking his head, saying, you know, that's that swing we all have. He's wondering if he got enough of it. Welcome to the cool air here at the K.
That right there is just the second out to the outfield for the Rockies tonight. Talking about how Shields has kept the ball down, ground ball outs, strikeouts. The Rockies have only made 3 outs in the air, and one of those was an infield pop-up. Escobar throws out Morneau, who's 1 for 3. So that's 2 consecutive starts where Shields has had at least 10 ground ball outs. Your Kansas City Honda dealers bring you the MTP of the game, the most trusted player, brought to you by the most trusted brand, Honda.
I'll say 7 strikeouts, 3 in 1 inning in the 6th. Tips his cap to the crowd after 1,500 career strikeouts. And he went ahead and finished off Gonzalez. Most trusted player of the game. That's that nice 2-seam fastball that wasn't working against the Tigers, but it is tonight. Goes underneath the bat.
Bunted foul, and it's 0-2 on Barnes. This is your kind of guy right here, Hud.
Love him.
Brandon Barnes. 2,976 minor league plate appearances before getting to the big leagues.
And I knew he was a football player in his day. He didn't even play his senior high school year in baseball. He didn't play because he was going to UCLA on a football scholarship. Didn't work out that way for him.
1-2.
He told me it helped him by not playing his senior year. I said, well, how come? He says, because I took the year off. I was focusing on football and I got strong. I lifted weights and I was totally prepared, and then it fell apart. Went to baseball.
He also crossed paths with a tattoo parlor or two along the way. That's impressive. Look at that. What's that known as? A sleeve, right? A sleeve of tattoos, as if you had a shirt of tattoos over the arms. That was not done in a day.
I wouldn't know.
Changeup strikes him out. That's 8 for James Shields.
The great Cambino was at work today at the K. Beautiful.
A 9-game homestand. And as promised earlier in the game, we have the AT&T fan photo of the game from Steph. Some tailgating. That looks like it's on the left field side of Kauffman Stadium. Nice big group, and they're bundled up as we still, well, at least we, meaning the traveling portion of the Royals, have not experienced the warm weather yet. We understand it was nice and warm while the Royals were on the West Coast, but back down into the mid-60s today and tomorrow. And the forecast for Thursday, as of right now, has a high temperature in the upper 50s.
Ooh.
Eric Hosmer, Billy Butler, and Salvador Perez coming up against Tommy Kahnle, who took over last inning. Fouled away by Hosmer, 0-1. When we got into San Diego, temperature dropped into the low to mid 60s, and all everybody was telling us was how warm it was over the previous weekend. Oh, you should have been here last weekend. It was mid to upper 80s, even close to 90. Same thing when we got to Seattle. You should have been here earlier in the week. It was beautiful. It was warm.
Yeah.
Hosmer up the middle. Tulowitzki. Look at that play. Are you kidding me? Falling backward. He was able to stay on his feet, but had very little balance and threw a strike over to Morneau.
That ball was scalded too, so he made a nice pick. He almost had time to set his feet, but he's done that so many times. He just twirled off balance and just threw a perfect strike to Morneau. That was a beauty. Make it look easy, don't they?
To get that much on the throw, off balance like that, and not able to plant his feet. Pretty amazing. Billy Butler has grounded his short twice and walked. Royals scored all 4 runs off of Franklin Morales in the first 5 innings, and now this is Kahnle's second inning. He has faced 4 and retired 4. Three and 0. Three and 1 on Billy. Royals have not struck out tonight. They have walked 4 times. On the other side, Shields has struck out 8 and hasn't allowed 1 walk. And now 5 walks for the Royals tonight. And the second for Billy Butler.
It's a good sign. They're walking, they're seeing pitches.
Salvador Perez, who got a couple of days off. He didn't play on Sunday in Seattle, and the Royals had the off day yesterday. And that's paid off tonight as he has 2 hits, including this in the 5th inning.
Breaking ball that didn't fully mature. It left it out over the plate, and Salvi didn't do a whole lot, but caught it just right. Back underside of that ball, had some spin and carried over that wall. A nice solo homer, but a confidence booster as well. Now he hit 370 on the last road trip, so he's coming back now. Salvi's average is starting to push back up there again.
Blackman has to come back as he sprinted toward the warning track. 2 down in the 7th inning.
And the reason he's used to reacting that way is because in Colorado, that's a homer. That's the big difference in the air there in the wind. And when we get out there in the middle of August, we'll be able to break that down a little bit better. But it's amazing. I played in Denver before they had that stadium built, and it was enclosed in that old football stadium there.
Mile High?
Yeah, but it's still carried. It's amazing.
Into the right field corner, a long run for Barnes, and he runs it down with a nice play. Lost track of the outs. Good effort, though. 1 out walk, that's it. To the 8th, the Royals lead 4-1. Royals baseball is brought to you by Chrysler, imported from Detroit. By Steel, find a helpful servicing Steel dealer near you. Visit steeldealers.com. And by Academy Sports, right stuff, low price every day. Union Station, Crown Center. Pretty night, but a cool night. And a good night for the Royals as they lead 4-1. And Wade Davis is a Chevy call to the bullpen as he takes over in the 8th inning. Trying to help James Shields win his first at home this year. And James Shields retired the last 10 he faced tonight. Giving up just 1 run in 7 innings. He struck out 8, and now he's given up just 1 run in his last 14 innings.
30 punch outs. Amongst the league leaders. Does it with a good hard 4-seam fastball, and it cuts it. His fastball, it's got an overhand curve that he'll mix in once in a while, but that 4-seam fastball has been in the upper 90s.
Two and 0. Pacheco struck out, grounded out against Shields. There's only one hitter in the Rockies lineup tonight who's ever faced Wade Davis before, and that was Justin Morneau. The Rockies would have to send 8 to the plate to get to Morneau in this inning. 2-1.
Okay, the Royals have reached that magic number 4 again, and they're 17-2 when they score 4 or more, and you got to believe that Wade Davis, pretty important factor in that record, as good as he's been setting up Holland.
Two and 2. Royals scored first in the 2nd inning. Alcides Escobar drove in a run. The Rockies tied it in the 4th on Morneau's single, and the Rockies are without a base runner since Morneau's base hit. Got the call that time. 96 at the knees over the outside edge. Royals pitchers have struck out 9 Rockies hitters tonight.
Paint in the corner. That's called some cheese at the knees, and that's what a lot of hitters will say to the other hitters when they go back to the dugout.
Now Davis ends up with 2 baseballs.
Last year just didn't seem to work out in the starting role for Davis. They all knew that he could pitch well out of the pen. But when Hochevar went down this year as a setup man early in spring training, they penciled him in there, and he's taken that role and run with it. You got that 4-seamer that works up in the zone. Speaking of Hoch, there he is. Cuts that fastball. He equalizes him with a nice overhand curveball too. Hoch is on the mend.
1-1 on DJ LeMahieu. One and two.
Rhino, have you seen a taller second baseman? This guy. He's 6'4", 210 pounds. Look at these.
Ryan Sandberg that big?
No. George High Pockets Kelly was the guy just as tall in the history of baseball. And he played.
Now, I could figure out. I could figure out how Archie Vaughn got his nickname.
He played before.
But how did High Pockets get his nickname?
1925. As a member of the New York Giants, he was the tallest everyday second baseman until this young man here joined him. Not this particular guy, but the hitter.
What was the guy's name again?
George High Pockets Kelly. He's tall, so he had high pockets.
Just, yeah. How about that pitch? Just buckled LeMahieu. Back-to-back strikeouts for Davis, 2 down in the 8th.
There it is. He pulls it out every so often when he needs to. That nice little curveball that drops straight down. Waiter, check please. He's good.
So that's 15 consecutive appearances where Wade Davis has at least 1 strikeout. And now Royals pitching has retired the last 12 Rockies. And that breaking ball's in for a strike to Blackman. "12 in a row retired. Shields and Davis combined with 7 strikeouts. Crack bat. Hosmer. Davis inning over. 13 in a row retired. Rockies haven't had a base runner since the 4th inning.
Goldberg back at Kauffman Stadium. Panera takes us around the league, and Detroit storms back in the 9th inning. Toronto one better than Cleveland. Minnesota, they rough up Jake Peavy. They're leading in that one. Boston has come back, and the White Sox just underway in Oakland. Our Mazda game break takes us to Baltimore. Orioles leading 1-0. Their closer, Tommy Hunter's been struggling. Gives up a single, gets 2 outs, a walk, and then this.
Swinging a drive high and deep into left center field. That ball is back, and that ball is out of here. It's gone.
The home run call from Mario Impemba of Fox Sports Detroit. Victor Martinez followed with another home run. That 1-0 game turned into a 4-1 loss. And their closer, Tommy Hunter, who has been in trouble, has now a 6.60 ERA. Ryan?
Yikes. Orioles will be here for 4 beginning on Thursday. This is Nick Massett taking over in the bottom of the 8th inning. Royals scored all 4 of their runs off of Morales. He went 5. Tommy Kahnle pitched 2 scoreless innings, and now Massett gets Valencia, Giavotella, and Kane. 2-0 on Valencia, who's 1 for 3 with a single. And he scored a run on Lorenzo Cain's 2-run home run in the 4th inning. Three and 0. Three and 1. Nick Massett someday can tell his kids and his grandkids he was once traded for Ken Griffey Jr. Leadoff walk to Valencia. Out of the Rangers organization, traded to the White Sox, and then in 2008 traded from Chicago to Cincinnati for Ken Griffey Jr.
That's pretty admirable. I mean, you love that. He's a big time name. 6'4", 220. He's a big guy. Fastball, slider, curve, and a changeup. He'll cut his fastball.
And there's Pedro Siriaco running for Valencia. Just called up from Omaha earlier today when Omar Infante was placed on the disabled list. So Johnny Giavotella should get a lot more playing time at second base as he chops it to third, and Arenado, the Gold Glover, throws him out. Siriaco to second. Giavotella's 1 for 4. Well, just like we promised you earlier in the game, it's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Lorenzo Cain, he said, I hadn't homered since last July 4th. It's time for me to lean back on one. That'd be a Miller Lite. It's Miller time. Big 2-run shot. Teammates celebrating. Had to go low Cain.
Down and away, ball 1. 2 home runs on Sunday for the Royals. 2 more home runs tonight. Wondering if there would be a carryover from that game on Sunday. They haven't had a big offensive game like they did in Seattle. Royals scored 9 runs in that game, but hitting 2 out of the ballpark tonight, and it's not a great night to hit. One and 1. Yes. First base umpire Dan Bellino. 1 and 2. Greg Holland, if the score doesn't change, if the Royals add a run, it's no longer a save situation, and we could see Aaron Crow. Siriaco will go to third. So that improves the Royals' chances of tacking on a run in the inning. It's a wild pitch on Massett.
Lorenzo said you can make that go.
And now the Rockies bring the infield in. Slow curve. 3-2.
That's the one you're looking for to elevate and get a sac fly, anything up.
Still 3-2. This is a unique doubleheader for Pedro Siriaco, as he started for Omaha earlier today.
Really?
Long run for Barnes, and it'll hit the side wall. Still 3-2.
Wonder what he did. We got to get the lowdown. Did he have a couple hits? Did he already score a run today?
Remember Joel Youngblood? You probably played against Joel Youngblood, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
I remember he played 2 games in the same day for 2 different teams because he got traded and had enough time to get to the new city and play for his new team.
That's crazy.
Siriaco was 0 for 1 today. I imagine he was pulled out of the game and told he was coming to Kansas City. As Kane walks, and that's 6 walks given up by Rockies pitchers tonight against no strikeouts. So the Royals decided earlier today to place Omar Infante on the disabled list. Phone call went to Omaha and said get Siriaco out so that he would avoid getting injured. Headed to Kansas City, and he's in the game here tonight. So Massett has walked 2 and puts runners at first and third for Escobar, who has another 2-hit game. He drove in the first run back in the second inning with a single. He's also doubled, and his only out is a line out to center field. Now hitting .285. Lorenzo has 2 stolen bases this year, and the Royals have 1 stolen base tonight. Alex Gordon stole his first base of the year in the 5th inning. On the ground to third, Arenado, second base 1, LeMahieu off the bag. Escobar is safe. We'll get an RBI as Siriaco scores, and it's 5-1 KC.
Good hustle, put some pressure on the Mayhew, trying to turn 2 there, and Morneau came off and missed him. Good call. Gambolino, first base umpire.
So the Royals number 8 and number 9 hitters have driven in 4 of the 5 runs tonight. Kane with 2 and now Escobar with 2. Getting us to Nori Aoki. Escobar had a big lead. He is out. Picked off by Massett. And no argument, although Ned Yost is going to come out. Third base umpire Quinn Wolcott is telling the Rockies not so fast. Hang on. You don't want guys to run up the tunnel and go to the clubhouse. And they have to pull him back out on the field. And Ned went out and talked to Dan Bellino, looked back into the dugout, and the dugout said that Escobar was out. So no challenge. The inning is over. Aaron Crow will pitch the 9th inning. The Royals lead 5-1.
And I will be breaking it down on Boulevard Royals Live. We'll talk about a very impressive outing from James Shields as he has a historic strikeout in this one too. Talk about silencing those hot Rockies bats, the Royals offense, hear from Ned Yost, and much more coming up on Boulevard Royals Live. Maybe a role reversal tonight, guys. Just the 4th time the Royals have had a multi-home run game this season. The Rockies have done that 16 times.
Thank you, Joel. Well, the game is not over, but so far all that offense, and the Rockies have come up with 1 run on 5 singles against James Shields and Wade Davis. And now Crow gets Dickerson, Tulowitzki, and Gonzalez.
Their color commentator, Jeff Houston, for the Rockies. We were teammates. And we're going over each other's teams, you know, before the game, like we like to do up in the stands, you know, up here in the booth, and talk about a few things. And he's telling me about their offense and everything, and then he goes, "What do you guys got?" And I go, "Well, we don't have the offensive power that you guys might have, but we got the one thing that can shut your offense down. That's pitching." He kind of went, you know, "Yeah, you can look at the numbers, but have your guys ever struck out before?" He didn't say much. I said, "Check the numbers. That's the one thing that'll shut good offenses down if you're hitting your spots." James Shields hit his spots. Wade Davis. Pass the baton off to Crow or Holland. Got some support. A couple of bombs. Game sounds easy.
Alex brings it down in left field. Corey Dickerson is 0 for 4.
And you know what? It's not over. The little short 2-game series they got. They got to face the doctor. If his scalpel's sharp, they're in trouble.
Remember, day game tomorrow. It's school day at the K. Ivy Royals Live begins at 12:30, and the first pitch is at 1:10, and that'll wrap up this 2-game Rockies series. Jason Vargas in his last start in Seattle, where he pitched well for 4 years and really thrived at Safeco Field, and no exception in the game on Friday. 7 scoreless innings against the Mariners. 1-1 on Tulowitzki. It's an odd night where the Royals pitching staff has struck out 10, 8 of those from James Shields, and no walks. On the flip side, the Rockies have walked 6 and didn't have one single strikeout. After exhaustive research,
that's unusual numbers.
Dave Holtzman came up with that's only the 10th time in Royals history that they've had a game with that many walks and didn't strike out once, and the first time in 10 years that's happened. Tulowitzki walks with 1 out, so there you go. All that talk about the no walks, and Tulowitzki is on with 1 out. Still another runner away from a save situation. Carlos Gonzalez steps to the plate. 2nd inning single. That walk by Tulowitzki is the Rockies' first runner since the 4th inning. And they tied the game in the 4th inning on a base hit from Morneau. And then James Shields and Wade Davis combined to retire 13 in a row. Crow got the first batter in this inning, so 14 straight Rockies went down until Tulowitzki walked.
Beautiful thing to have your starters executing. That's the one thing that didn't happen in the last 4 home games here at the Cave. It started all over again. 2 more outs and they got game 1.
There was a concern for some, not really many with the Royals, that while Aaron Crow's velocity has dipped this year, that maybe there was something wrong with his arm, but it hasn't affected his effectiveness. Right around 94, 95 miles an hour, first 3 years of his career. And look at the opponent's batting averages on his fastball. I mean, they were hitting his fastball even though he was throwing hard. Now, just under 92 miles an hour, and the league's not even hitting 140 against him.
Less is more. You get more movement. You're getting outs. That's all that counts. Mixing in some more changeups. He's pitching a little bit more. He used to just be power fastball, power slider. Now he's going 2 seamers that sink a little bit, changeup, and that still has that good hard biting slider. He's evolving. Ooh, that's a good one.
No swing. Quinn Wolcott is the third base umpire. 2-2 on Gonzalez. Fastball got him looking, 92 miles an hour, so that was effective. And now 11 strikeouts for Royals pitchers tonight.
Oh, that ball ran right back over that inner half.
Tonight's copyrighted telecast and full moon is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Corporation. Strike to Arenado. Ryan Lefevre, Rex Hudler, Joel Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery, director Steve Kurtenbach, producer Joe Lavero, associate producers Al Broughton, Sam Abramson, Dave Holtzman. The producer of Royals Live is Brian Shapiro, and it's Good to see the familiar faces of our Fox Sports Kansas City crew after a long road trip. And good to be home for 9. The Royals are 1 strike away from taking game 1 of this 9-game homestand. Arenado, 2 out of 3 tonight. 2 out of 4. And he argues with DJ Rayburn as the game comes to an end. Aaron Crow strikes out 2. Royals pitching strikes out 12. James Shields gets his first win at Kauffman Stadium this year as the Royals put an end to a 4-game home losing streak, and they are back to 500 and 19-19, and there is a KCW.
Pitch your way out of it. That's exactly what you do, and Ned's got him. James Shields answered the call. Special moment with him on the back of the mound when Salvi told him to step off and throw the ball out after his 1,500th strikeout. That was a smile, and it was good. He pitched like the great Gambino he is.
A 5-run game, a 2-home-run game. Salvador Perez had one of the home runs and was his usual stellar self behind the plate for Shields, Davis, and Crow. Sal hit one, Lorenzo Cain hit the other, and he's down on the field with Joel.
All right, Ryan, thank you very much. Back in the 4th inning, Lorenzo Cain providing the power, and you look like you're having a real good time there in the dugout afterwards. Just tell me what you were seeing on that pitch.
I threw me a heater inside, got the head out, and like I say, put a good swing on it, and it got out for me. So, like I say, definitely have a good at-bat right there.
I know that you're not looking for home runs as a team. You guys, a lot of doubles, try for those extra base hits, but what does that home run do, not just to give you the lead, but the energy there, what that can do to a dugout?
Definitely excites the dugout, excites the crowd. So, like I say, we had a great time. And like I say, we just continue to swing the bat and hopefully stay hot and continue to win ball games.
That's a very good hitting team over there. They lead the world in just about every offensive category. So what does it say about James Shields and those bullpen pitchers, what they were able to do tonight?
Oh, man, those guys lights out once again. Shields did an outstanding job, you know, keeping the hitters off balance throughout the entire night. And the bullpen came in and finished the job. So, like I said, we got to keep it going, continue to win ball games.
And a historic one for James Shields as he gets his 1,500th career strikeout there on Tulowitzki. I don't know if you saw it on the board behind you. It took him a little while to figure it out, too.
Yeah, most definitely. I'm definitely excited and happy for him. That's a lot of strikeouts. But like I say, he got to keep it going and finish the season strong.
Thanks, Lorenzo.
All right, thanks for having me.
Lorenzo Cain with the big home run, and it is the Royals going deep twice, and the Rockies' great offense being silenced here at the K. Ryan?
You got that right, Joel. All those big numbers. Royals held the Rockies to 1 run on 5 singles, 2 home runs for the Royals, and the planet Moon.